Hello, strangers on the internet, and welcome to my book journal flip through for 2024. I know this is a little bit late into the year, but I don't know. It's when I got it done. Mostly I was waiting to fill up my book bracket because I didn't want any recency bias for like the last couple books that I read in the year to influence what like I thought. Because sometimes when you sit with a book, you're like, originally best book I've ever read, but now I'm just like, I've already forgotten everything about it. So yeah, I didn't want that to affect. Let me go check the dogs. You wanna see the channel? Do I get the sniff of approval? All right, so I'm back. The doggo, at least one of them has joined me. So if you see doggo craziness, you wanna lay down? Yeah. Then just know he's around. This is Iggy. I don't know if I've introduced the doggos yet. But yeah, this one is Iggy, and the other one is Frankie. And then I have a cat too. His name is Clover. So yeah, the doggos will be around. But that will not stop me. Will it, baby? No. This is the old man. He's also the baby. Yeah. Okay. So you'll notice that there are in fact two journals. That's because at the beginning of the year, I started here and I ran out of room. And so I moved into here. And my philosophy is I just move between journals. 2024, I just happened to start in a new journal because I only had like 20 or so pages left in my previous one. But yeah, and Arch and Olive actually came out with 2 B designs. And then, so like I got the second B design because I was like, oh, it's a continuation. And funnily enough, there's like, I found like some knockoff. It is a legit company and like they do make like original designs, but they have an exact copy of this one as well. So how inspired was it? The world may never know. Just while he's sitting with us, so you can see a little bit of doggo. But yeah, so I actually have like another one of these that I'll use after. And then maybe we'll move away from the bees. So this is the flip through, so let's flip through. So this is the first one. My original journal was a media journal where I spent a lot more time, or I spent a lot more pages with like the animes that I watched and the like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I'll have to do a flip through of my like original journal. But yeah, so that's why I have a media journal page. And then I wanted to do 2024 because again, in my last journal, I fit 2022 and 2023 in it. No, that book, it goes back further, I think. My senior year of high school. So that one, it like starts in the middle of 2021. So the end of 2021, all of 2022, and like most of 2023 is in that other journal. So I didn't know how many pages I was going to use, so I had the year, and it turns out the whole year is in this journal. So first we have my reading goals and my anticipated releases. So my reading goals were to read 80 books. I did accomplish this. My original goal was to read 20 books for my physical TBR and read 10 nonfiction books. Halfway through the year, I had already read, 16? So 17, and so I updated my goal to 30, which again, I did hit that. And then I did not read 10 nonfiction books. I only read 8, but that's still a lot. And then for my anticipated releases, I just read them like as I heard about them. And then if they're check marks, you'll see on the next page that like each month basically has its own color. So these correspond with the color. The color check mark corresponds with the month I read it in. So Dead Letter Delivery, which I will talk about again, came out in March. Apprentice to the Villain came out in August. Not in Love came out in June. And The Nightmare Before Christmas came out in October. And those are the 4 anticipated books that I did read. Grandest Game, I have plans to read soon. That Followed With Us, I like cannot find this book anywhere. I'm not actually sure it exists. Nothing Like the Movies didn't actually get to. Icon and Inferno, it's a Marie Lu book, and so I wanted to read it, but I haven't read the first one, so did not get around to that. And then Secrets of the Lost Ledger. This is the 5th book in the Glass Library series. This is the one that I'm behind on. Heist Royale. This is the 2nd book in like a heist competition series where all the kids are like professional heist people. And so that's the 2nd book. And then Teen Titans Starfire, that also came out this year, and I haven't read it yet. It's a graphic novel. So here we have my book stats. I was gonna do fanfiction stats, and I don't know, I don't feel like it, so I'm not gonna force myself. We'll see if I feel like it next year. But yeah, so I have all the months here, and then I have the totals. And so the things I kept track of were the number of books, the number of pages, my average rating, the amount of books that I read that I already owned, any books I reread, and my nonfiction, and the amount of books that I DNF'd. So if you want to take a look at all the individual months, go ahead, and you'll see what I was talking about with the different colors. The only color that repeats is this December color. It was April. When we get to the December theme, you'll notice it was actually this April color and this February color. So I was like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter at this point. And then the totals. I read 137 books for a total of 41,059 pages with an average rating of 3.63. I read 53 of my own books. I reread 8 books, and I read 8 nonfiction books, and I DNF'd 15 books. So this is my Pop Sugar reading challenge. I'm already tired of hearing myself talk about it. Apparently I never actually finished filling out this page, but I did complete it. Oh, the problem was I did this in pen, and sometimes I would like move books around to like fill different prompts. So like Warcross, it doesn't actually fill this prompt, it fills a different prompt, and so I don't know, I just never bothered to fix it. So this is 2 pages that went away in the next one. I was gonna do like my own version of the call pile reading system with like things I actually like cared about, and then not once did I think about this. This corner key I added later on, but is actually like really important. So like let's just flip to a random page. So you'll notice here that like in the corner I have like letters and stuff written in pencil. That's what this corner key is. So I just kind of wanted to denote some things so that I would remember. So is it a graphic novel? Is it a manga? Is it an owned book? Is it a book I borrowed from a friend? Is it a reread? Is it for my Pop Sugar challenge? Or is it poetry? And then I think I don't think it appears in this journal, but there is later on an A, which is for ARC reads. And then I'll turn this way. This is my physical TBR. I wanted to track how many books I bought versus how many books I read. The thing is, oh, the dog got left, so let me move you over. So the thing about this one is I buy a lot of books that I've already read because I'm a completionist, and so like this isn't accurate. So yeah. And then I have a video all on this, but this is my best book showdown. So my favorite book of the year was Check and Mate, which like that tracks. I think about this book so often. I talk about this book to like everybody who will listen. If you want the full like breakdown of what all these books were about, and like some of my thoughts on them, then definitely check that book. I will link it in the cards in that corner, I think. But yeah. And then, oh, this is the quotes page. It definitely went away, and I kept them in my phone. You can pause and look. And then, so these ones are all from books from like the first couple months of the year. And then this is just like a quote that I really like, that wasn't book related, so I put it at the end of the quotes page. But yeah. And then this is another thing I didn't keep track of. This is my watching list. And like you can see, link click. I did finish the first season, but like again, I never kept up with this. And then this was my watching rating system. So my 5-star predictions. I had 6 5-star predictions. I read 5 of them, and 4 of them were 5 stars. So Six of Crows was 5 stars, Fourth Wings was 5 stars, XOXO was 5 stars, Assistant to the Villain was 5 stars, Legend of the Lattes was only 3 stars, and Geography Club I did not get to. This is my DNF graveyard. I kept up with this pretty well. There's definitely some that are missing from this. And then I put if it was like a soft DNS. So actually, these 3 right here are my soft DNS from the year. All the rest of them are hard DNS. I'm never picking them up again. But yeah, here is the list. And then this is my Bookopoly. I don't think I've talked about this enough. And I'm really proud of it. So I made my own little board, and then I did the colors, and it just turned out so well. So basically I would roll 1 6-sided dice and move around the board. So then I would do whatever the prompt was, and there was a couple of like special spots on the board. So chance, I basically picked 8 books at the beginning of the year from my personal shelves that I was like, I don't really have an interest in reading them. They're not really on my radar to read, but so that makes them good chance books. And of the ones that I read, I soft DNF'd number 1, The Bells by Danielle Clayton. I read number 3, Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. I read number 5, The 5 Stages of Andrew Brawley by Sean David Hutchinson. And I read number 8, Now Entering Adamsville by Francesca Zappia. And then these are books that I would not have gotten to in the year otherwise. If I landed on this one, which is Instead of Community Test, Community Shelf, it was a book that was recommended to me. If it was Jail, then I would read a banned book. Free Parking is a mood read. And then if I passed Go, that was, I got to buy a book guilt-free, which I bought a lot of books guilt-free, so I don't know. Then this is the first couple months. There's another page in here somewhere. Eventually, like, when I got into more, like, mood reading, especially later in the year or, like, busy months, I didn't roll. But, yeah. If you see my 2025, you know I have TBR Yahtzee this year, which I'm excited about. So now we get into monthly. So you'll notice there is a theme, or I basically do all my pages the same, and then there's like some sort of theme which dictates the color. This is January, where I wanted to use these stickers. And then these are my stats. You'll notice in addition to the book stats, there's also some fanfiction stats at the end. But yeah, this was my TBR in January. This is one of my fanfiction logs. Because I like to know what fanfictions I've read. And then, so I keep the title, the words, convert that into pages, and then what fandom it was for. And then we have the books. So again, like I mentioned before, you'll notice in the if I DNF'd it, there is no cover, but otherwise there's covers. And then I have a star stamp. This one I fucked up on, of course, the first book of the year. And yeah, I put the genre, the pages, again, my indicator markers in the corner. So yeah, I guess I'm going to shut up for a little while and just flip through it. Oh, one more note. You'll notice here, this one's a different color. So this one is a continuation of a fan fiction. So I like subscribed to it and then read the 5 chapters after that. Okay, continuing on. You'll notice here's check and mate. So this is actually one of the first couple of special pages. Not special, but like a new page. And for fanfictions that I would like to continue reading, I basically wrote down like little summaries so I could remember what happened. so that when I like jumped in at chapter 23, I'm like, oh, what's going on? I know what happened. So you'll see several pages like this. These are the only two books that got summary spreads. I don't know. I just had a lot of thoughts about this, and then, oh, spoilers. But yeah, I don't know. These were the only two. So this is a tracker to keep track of all the fourth wing characters, because I kept getting confused as to like who was related to who, like who was embarked one, who was just a cadet, what the dragons' names were, or at least the important ones, which, you know, there's three. Some of the adults, you know, this one, spoiler. So you'll notice this is a little Costa Rica flag, because this is the month I spent entirely in Costa Rica. So this is big spoilers. So if you haven't read Throne of Glass, look away. This is basically me tracking the characters and like, because my biggest bookish pet peeve. And if you watch my book bracket video, I talk a lot about this there. Basically, how do I explain this? My biggest pet peeve is when characters are doing entirely different plot lines in different sections of the world. So like, again, spoiler for going into the last book, I have my Where Are They Now? And so like where all the different characters are. So like I remember, because like it's basically like 5 different books in one, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, you can come back if you didn't want spoilers. Here, I wanted to experiment with doing 2 boxes, and decided I just like to do one, like 2 boxes combined. So this was a readathon I participated in called Battleathon: The Assassin's Trials. The House of Thorns, I think, actually lost spectacularly. And so, like, it took place during the month of July. And so this was, like, the rules and the point system, whatever. And then these, I wanted to keep track of the books I read. And then you got bonus points for your category. So mine was Word with Nature in the title. So, and then you got like points for how long the book was. I think, oh no, how good it was. The goal was to read really good books that you really enjoy. So, yeah. This is a continuation of that. And then this is my series log. So this is kind of like the last normal page. And then I would basically, sometimes I would flip to the back and do stuff from there. So I wanted to like write down my whole TBR. That didn't end up happening. I got like 3 pages in and was like, nope. You'll notice on only some of the pages there are page numbers. And so that's mostly in reference to this. So these are the fan fictions that I'm like continuing in. So I could like basically find them in the book. And then on my laptop, I like to refresh my stickers at the beginning of every semester, but I still like to keep the old stickers, so I basically put them in here and like put packing tape over it. So yeah, these were the stickers that were on my laptop, so I have a new set now. And then this is a series tracker, so like you can see here I wrote Temp Kingdom of Ash because I thought I was going to read it. But this is basically as of August 2024, and then I kept like updating it. So here are some of the books. And then we're back to here. So yeah, that's this journal. This is part 1. So you'll notice it only went into August. And then for September, we jump into here. So let me flip it open. So 2024 continued. This is my September cover page. This is where I start to experiment with using some of the box area as decoration, which I really liked and will continue to do. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but if it has these arrows, that means I started it in like whatever month it's in, but I didn't finish it in that month, so it moved over. December. And then these, I wanted to leave some pages, because I did all my 2025 book journal stuff before I finished December, so I wanted to like leave enough room so there's some blank pages. These will probably get added into those fanfiction pages if I run out of room in this journal. And then we're into 2025. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, just leave them below. I'll get to them. But yeah, I don't know. This is definitely a passion project. And I know it's not like the best, and there's definitely people who are more artistic, and there's certainly people who are more functional, but I don't know, I like to straddle the line of functional and fun. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I will see you someplace else on the internet. Have a good day, good night, good evening. See you soon. Bye.